This is my old sprinkler system. Doesn't work too good. And some of our trees are dying. There's two controllers. There's this one and one on the opposite end of the room. Right? This is the faulty one, but the other one also has a similar problem where this button here is loose. I pulled out the fuse. Where this button here is loose, and it's unless it's tapped in the exact correct way, it doesn't work. So it took my trees drying out a little bit before I realized that. This thing's got to be over 20 years old now. That's more or less how long we've been at this house. So went out and bought this new indoor-outdoor timer. It's for 12 stations. I don't need that many stations on one, but what I'm doing is combining what is currently two different controllers and running them off of one timer, which works better for me than having to control two timers. And this also works off of Wi-Fi, so I can, if it's raining, I can just turn it off with my phone, etc., etc. So what I need to do is remove this box here, run these cables through the wall if possible, up there along my ceiling line. Excuse the mess in here. Down the other side, and I'm going to control all of my stations from this area here. So this bad boy's coming out as well, and the new one's going to be sitting in that spot. Let's crack this open. When I got these at the hardware store, there's a bunch of options there. Some of the boxes were already tampered with. Some of them appeared to be returns, which is one of the reasons why I opted for just one 12 station as opposed to 2 6 or 1 6 1 4 station. I do not want to deal with anything that was already previously returned and had issues or was just tampered with at the store. So this seems pretty standard. All right, got your keys, so you can lock it, open it. This is what the controller looks like on this end. Need to pop this bad boy out and see what it looks like on the inside. Screws, keys. So here we are. The front panel just opens. So I'm just gonna have to pop these open down here. I don't have a census, so I don't need that. I don't need electrical out. I don't have a pump, so I don't need that. So it's gonna be a matter of just connecting my current stations, numbering them, and then just writing it down somewhere so I know what goes to what. I currently have something very simple in this control here. Excuse me. Where I've gotten written on the outside, and it helps in case something needs extra water or I need to make adjustments later. Pull the cables. Now I just need to get some room in the back so I can run them. Is I'm moving this cable, or set of cables, along the top of the garage so they're out of the way. I brought it up through the wall. It's not pretty, but it's the garage and it works. Just gonna need to move it all the way around the top side I'm going to drop it down over this side and give me, I don't know, 2 to 3 feet of slack down, hidden behind this cabinet. Then I'll bring it up and plug it back into where it is here, 7, 8, 9. And it's currently not in the correct position because I was testing it out to make sure everything worked before I made things permanent. So I'm getting an error, a fault error with one of my zones. Right? It was this zone, which was running with this color wire, cable, wire, whatever. So I changed it to the brown one, went from red to brown, and that seemed to fix the error. I had seen another video that said that these cylinders, these pumps had to be the same brand as the actual timer. Those are Rainbird, and this new device, sprinkler timer, is a Beehive by Orbit. And I knew that the videos I had seen previously weren't accurate because one of my Rainbirds was working fine while the other two weren't. So just troubleshooting it, I switched out one of the cables, one of the wires, and that seemed to get this one going, the center one. So now I've got two working. I'm still troubleshooting the third. And again, I'm replacing the timer because the two I had before just weren't working, and I've got trees that are dying. So let's see how this works out, see if we can troubleshoot this one as well. So I solved my problem. My problem was the previous solenoid was not working. Rather than buy a new one, I remembered I had some old ones from replacing these old Rainbirds. And it seems to be working great. No muss, no fuss. The timer picks it up, turns it on, doesn't give me an error anymore. So we're good to go. Okay, got my cable run. Got my extra 2 feet, give or take. I eyeballed it, so it's probably more. So now I've run the actual cable that I'm going to use, the actual wires that I'm going to use through. Sorry, I always use my hand. So I've got these through. I still have the old ones in there so that I know when I get these ready to go, I know where they go, and I know which ones not to use, the red. I will say this, take the plastic off of all of them before you start screwing them in, make your life easier. For some reason, again, I like making my life more difficult. The unit comes with wall anchors, screws for those wall anchors, the screwdriver, and 2 sets of keys. I don't plan on locking it. I'm the only one with access. It's in my garage, so I'm just going to store the keys in there along with this handy screwdriver. Otherwise, I'd have gone nuts trying to find something to screw and unscrew these little screws with to loosen up the screw. The cable pops out. Where's the bad boy? Okay. So anyway, everything's in. Everything appears to be working. Seal this panel. It's already in the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth enabled. Close this bad boy. Hide my wire behind the cabinet, and I'm good to go. Thanks, guys.